heard of borderline personality disorder, or BPD, before? It's a personality disorder that affects about 1 to 3% of the population. So what is BPD? People with BPD struggle with self-image and self-perception. Their behavior and view of others changes quickly as they battle waves of sadness, anger, or anxiety. It's linked to traumatic events, brain chemistry, and family history, but these factors aren't always present in people with the disorder. Hidden BPD is a type in which the symptoms of the disorder are internalized. They're not displayed outwardly, making its diagnosis difficult. This leads your friends, partner, or family members to misunderstand your actions as having a toxic personality or a different mental disorder like anxiety rather than borderline personality disorder. Before we begin, we would like to remind you that the purpose of this video is to create awareness and should in no case be used to self-diagnose. If you find you can relate to these signs, please reach out to a professional for help. With that being said, here are 7 hidden signs of borderline personality disorder. 1. Self-hatred, self-harm. Do you often see the world in extremes and struggle to maintain a sense of identity? One hidden sign of borderline personality disorder is drastically low self-esteem or self-hatred. This creates internal conflict like constant self-criticism, negative self-image, and feeling like you're a bad person. Self-harm is another sign of borderline personality disorder, and this can escalate to suicidal thoughts or attempts at suicide. 2. Difficulty regulating emotions. Do you cycle between periods of intense emotions like emptiness, sadness, anger, and anxiety? People with BPD struggle to feel in control of their emotional responses to situations. This is called affective instability, and it's more intense and longer lasting than hormonal mood swings. Because people with hidden BPD tend to internalize their feelings, their mood swings likely won't be as noticeable to others. It's important to note, however, that intense mood swings can also be a sign of mood disorders, which is why it's so important to get diagnosed by a mental health professional. In some cases, a person may be diagnosed with both borderline personality disorder and a mood disorder such as bipolar. 3. Internalized anger. Intense anger can also be a sign of BPD. Some people verbally or physically lash out at others, brought on by BPD. But in the case of hidden BPD, this anger is turned inwards against the self and in the form of self-hatred, or if suppressed, which is even more lethal. Such anger can also manifest as repeated frustration or extreme irritation when faced with interpersonal stressors that people without BPD or other personality disorders can handle without getting upset. 4. Fear of rejection. Would you agree that rejection is hard to stomach, even in the best of times? For those with BPD, fear of rejection is yet another hidden sign. This could manifest in an irrational fear that loved ones will leave you, social anxiety, or a desire to please everyone around you to try and prevent them from rejecting you. The fact that people with BPD often struggle to maintain relationships only adds to this fear. 5. Unstable relationships. Do you face difficulty maintaining interpersonal relationships like friendships, sibling bonds, or romantic relationships? It can be difficult for people with BPD to preserve relationships because they often idealize, think very highly of, and then romanticize someone for a while, and then devalue or distrust or become disgusted with them. A 2016 study suggests that some people with BPD react to relationship stressors with impulsivity, which generates instability in relations as well. 6. Impulsive decisions. While cycles of impulsive decisions commonly occur in those with bipolar disorder and other mood disorders, they're also a sign of BPD. Examples of impulsive decisions someone with BPD might make are substance abuse, spending or gambling sprees, skipping work or appointments, unprotected sex, binge eating, or reckless driving. Impulsive decisions are a hidden sign of BPD because others may think this impulsivity comes from low impulse control or another mental disorder instead of BPD. And 7, disassociation. Finally, people with borderline personality disorder may disassociate more frequently and for longer periods of time than typical functioning people. Disassociation is when thoughts or emotions enter your mind and you find yourself incapable of focusing on your actions, instead operating on autopilot or watching yourself do things without feeling connected to your body. Disassociation is a hidden symptom of BPD because others may assume someone who is disassociating is just tired or distracted. Disassociation can also be a symptom of PTSD or dissociative identity disorder, also known as DID. But if it occurs alongside the other things, it's likely a hidden sign of BPD. It's important to remember that mental disorders affect everyone differently. Not everyone experiences all the symptoms. You might also experience symptoms not listed here. That's why it's so important to seek help from a licensed mental health professional with experience in personality disorders if you think you or someone you love might have BPD.